That's toothpaste. WrestleMania had some big problems, especially for what was hyped up to be the greatest WrestleMania of all time. And yeah, there were some cool things that happened, but I think the negatives really outweigh the positives. Let's start with the first match. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Look, I think everyone kind of wanted Mommy to win, right? But I don't know. Becky Lynch has like a special place in my childhood, so it sucks to see her lose. But it's still really cool that she was in this match in WrestleMania. And I do think Rhea winning was the right decision. And it's cool because in 2 WrestleManias, she beat 2 of the 4 horsewomen back to back, which is really cool. And hopefully next year we'll do Rhea versus Bayley, which hopefully Rhea's not the champion still, because I am so burnt out on these extremely long title runs. So hopefully Bayley's still champion, or maybe she's champion of this belt. It don't really matter. Thumbs up. Next was the 6-pack ladder match. If you can only watch one match out of the weekend, make it this. I don't even care about Cody, or Roman Reigns, or The Rock, or John Cena, or The Undertaker, or Jimmy, or Jey Uso, or... Did I say The Undertaker already? Watch this match. It's so good. But I think before it even happened, we already knew this match was going to be good. Ladder matches at WrestleMania always hit, and this is even more special because I don't think I've ever seen this many people in a ladder match. And I'm really happy that A-Town Down Under won, because last year, Austin Theory beat John Cena in his own match, and this year he's 1 out of 12 guys, and I thought he was going to lose. I wasn't super confident that he was going to win this, so I thought he was maybe going to lose, which would have been a bummer. But no, they won. The SmackDown belts, at least. So, thumbs up for that. And the Raw belts went to the Awesome Truth, which I like even more because, believe it or not, I have a heart, and it warmed the hell out of it. So good. Now, here's where it goes downhill. We had good Mexicans versus evil Mexicans, which I unfortunately give a thumbs down because there were no stakes. And this is my first real big problem with this WrestleMania, because I feel like WrestleMania is extremely important. It's sacred, right? I believe every match should have either a stipulation based on the outcome, like a retirement match or something at least, a belt defended, or have a wrestler make their debut or return. Andrade doesn't count. I'm sure he's wrestled since the Royal Rumble. I'm not too sure. But anyways, that doesn't matter because that was like 4 months ago. He's not new. He's been back for a while. I'm going to call this Ray's WrestleMania match problem. I'll think of a shorter title for that. And this is a problem I have for a lot of these matches in WrestleMania. Jay versus Jimmy, Damage Control versus Jade, Bianca, and Naomi, Bobby Lashley's faction versus Karrion Kross's faction, and AJ Styles versus LA Knight. Like, sure, these matches, they have story, but there's no no importance really. Maybe I'm super critiquing, but I feel like it would be really cool if we put some stakes into these matches. However, for this match specifically, I had my hopes up high because I really wanted Carlito to turn on Rey Mysterio. Now that would have been WrestleMania worthy. And I want that because maybe Santos Escobar was right about Rey Mysterio. Bless his soul, but Rey is kind of disregarding these people. He's not treating them very good. Rey replaced Santos for Carlito, and then now he's replacing Carlito for, Dragon Lee, and then now Andrade. So Rey, he doesn't realize it, he's kind of being bad. He's not. I'm not. He's being a bad boy. He's kind of being whatever. He's kind of in the wrong, which is what I mean. That's a pretty interesting story because Carlito can turn on Rey, but maybe he's justified. It's character depth. It's pretty cool. But it's too bad that we didn't get that at the greatest WrestleMania ever. Thumbs down. Then Jay versus Jimmy. What happened? Seriously, what happened? I didn't watch it. Well, I didn't watch most of it because halfway through I left because it was so boring. And I don't mean to be mean, but I was kind of uninterested. I thought this was going to be pretty good. It does break my rule. Ray's WrestleMania match problem, RWM problem. It does break the RWM problem, but at least I had some important story, the Bloodlight story going into it. The story didn't make sense all the time, but it was there, and these guys are talented, but unfortunately they just dropped the ball, and I left midway to go eat. And then after that, there was Damage Control versus Jade Cargill, Naomi and Bianca Belair. And I wasn't excited for this either. I didn't come back from eating my glizzies. I was still throwing them down, and the match was going on because it broke the RWM rule. And even worse, this story wasn't even that good. I mean, okay, I can't say it broke the RWM rule because this is Jade Cargill's debut, but it's a 6-person match. Jade Cargill takes up a sixth of the wrestlers in it. So it didn't really count. It still kind of breaks the rule. However, this match will be unforgettable because coincidentally, the match with the 3 black women is heavily sponsored by Wingstop. I'm sure that's just a coincidence. There was no... I'm gonna stop talking. It was on purpose. Now, unfortunately, it's time for the worst, absolutely worst part of the weekend. And that is Sami Zayn versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. The match that I believe is the worst offender of the second problem I have with this WrestleMania. I hate the very foundation of this match. Its reasoning for existing is so unbearable. To explain what I mean by that, let's look into why Sami Zayn is in this match to begin with. Last year, he lost to Roman Reigns trying to get the Universal Championship. After that, he lost in the Royal Rumble even though he came in at number 30. Pathetic. And then, he didn't even lose in the Elimination Chamber match. He lost a qualifier to get into that match. And then he starts crying, how am I gonna get into WrestleMania? I just want to get to WrestleMania. So he steals Chad Gable's spot to fight Gunther at WrestleMania as a last resort. WWE set up Gunther to lose his longest reigning Intercontinental Championship reign of all time as a last resort. And even worse, it's making me not like Sami Zayn. How do you even do that? And we can see the same thing happening in this WrestleMania. Randy Orton, he lost the Royal Rumble in that Fatal 4-Way for the Universal belt, and then he lost in the Elimination Chamber for Seth's belt. So now he's like, okay, I guess I'll just fight for the US belt. This is such a terrible way to set up your mid-card titles, because instead of making them feel like prizes that people should desire in their own right, WWE is setting them up to feel like loser brackets. Like, that's insane. And then it was time for Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns and The Rock. I thought it was pretty good. Not the greatest tag team match of all time, but it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Everyone here does feel larger than life, which is really fun to watch. And seeing The Rock wrestle, and I'll mention he did pretty good, like really good, was so awesome. And he had the greatest sell, definitely, of the weekend when he got speared right Roman Reigns. It was so funny. It made my entire family laugh, which is a good thing. It doesn't have to be serious all the time. You could throw in a funny sell like that. But what really brought down this match was the sponsor, which I'm adding to my list of problems. You got 3 so far. You got the RWM problem. You got the I guess I'll settle for this belt problem. And then you have the sponsors. I didn't express how much I dislike the sponsors, but they were bad, especially for night 1. It was terrible and kind of racist. But I can excuse racism, okay? It's not that big of a deal. But blinding my eyes the entire match with like that white American home shield sponsor was awful. It was on the apron, it was on the barricades, it was on the ring posts. It was just white all over it. It was just white everywhere. God, that you couldn't see. Everything kind of blended together, okay? And I saw people online glazing the sponsors. Wow, the word American represents Cody Rhodes, and Shield, that represents Seth Rollins. So clever. Shut up. Don't support these advertisements. It's so annoying. Like, look how awful this is. That's insane. I thought the Prime sticker was bad, but this is a million times worse. So that was night 1. It wasn't just me. My whole family was like, that was kind of ass. But who knows? Maybe my family has high expectations. Night 2. Night 2 starts off with Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. And just by the entrances alone, you could tell this night's going to be much better. Seth Rollins had the coolest entrance of the night with those, I don't even know what you would call those musician dudes. They were awesome. I'm pretty sure it's like a Philly thing. but that was pretty hype. Too bad Seth lost again, but I'm super happy that Drew McIntyre won. I think he's the best person to take the belt off Seth, besides CM Punk, like we were supposed to get, but things happen. But then bisexual Undertaker came in and cashed in his Money in the Bank and took the title. I'm not super excited we're getting Damian Priest as our new champion, but I hope he proves me wrong. I hope he has a great reign. I really do. Next, it was whatever the name of this faction is versus whatever the name this faction is. This match is in clear violation of the RWM rule. But you know what? I had fun. It was a 6-man street fight, so everyone went crazy. Bubba Dudley was there, Snoop Dogg was there, so it was pretty fun. But it was kind of like a guilty pleasure because I didn't think it was possible for WWE to dig Karrion Kross into a deeper hole than he already is, and they keep proving me wrong. I have no idea what Karrion Kross is gonna do next. Probably lose to Baron Corbin next. I don't know. Karrion Kross is truly this weekend's biggest loser. Then it was LA Knight versus AJ Styles. If I had to pick 2 of my favorite wrestlers on the roster, it wouldn't be these guys, but they were very close, top 10. And the fact that they couldn't do anything important with them is pathetic, which sucks because both of them are getting pretty old, they don't have a ton of time. I think even AJ said it himself that his body is becoming a problem. And the worst thing too is that they could have easily made this match feel a little important. All they had to do was make it a #1 contenders match. But at least it was a really good match. It was pretty fun. LA Knight had a Slim Jim car. Next, it was a triple threat between Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. Ignoring my problem with Randy Orton, obviously settling for this belt, this match was a banger. Logan Paul, as much as I hate the guy, he is extremely gifted and entertaining to watch in the ring. However, I really wanted him to lose because I think since he's been champion for like 6 months, I think he's like defended the belt 1 time, which is so lame. So I was really hoping KO would come out with the victory, especially because Sami Zayn won the Intercontinental belt, so it would have been really cool if both of them, won their matches, won their belts. But I say not Randy Orton because 1, Randy Orton doesn't need a belt, and 2, I don't even think he wants a belt. I think he's just having fun now. So I really have mixed feelings about this match. It was great wrestling, super entertaining, but I think the wrong guy won, and I'm really not excited to see more of Logan Paul not wrestle. Our second to last match was Bayley versus Io. Such a banger. Now this is what I'm talking about. I'm really happy that the rest of Damage Control wasn't at ringside so that we could really get an amazing match between these 2 without any distractions. The whole ending sequence especially was so good. My whole family was like super into it. And I'm so happy for Bayley. She's my favorite women's wrestler on the WWE roster. And it's so cool to see her reach the top. I'm so happy for her. Finally, the main event of WrestleMania. What do I even say? Cody, Roman, John Cena, The Rock, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo, Seth Rollins, The Undertaker for some reason. I think the best way to describe it would be I wish it could have gone on forever. I really feel bad for Seth. He took so many L's this weekend. Like right when he came into this match, he got hit with a chair immediately. Like we didn't even see him on camera. All we heard was a chair shot. Like, oh damn, Seth's dead. But anyways, if I had to make one change, it would be that instead of having 1 person from this side come out, 1 person from this side deals with him, and then after that another person comes out, deal with him, and they're out for the entire match. What I would have liked is that if we got like everyone from one side and everyone from the other, had a standoff in the middle of the ring, so it really got like that Avengers Endgame feel, you know what I mean? But I really don't mind. That's more of me just like playing with my action figures scenario. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really awesome. So WrestleMania 40, I enjoyed it, of course. It's always nice to come down for the weekend and hang out with my family and watch wrestling. And there were some amazing moments, but I don't think it was the greatest WrestleMania of all time. There were definitely some serious problems. The RWM problem, I guess I'll settle for this belt problem. I can't get anything else. I guess I'll settle for this. And also the sponsors. Those problems I think are really, really hard to look past. And now that I think about it, if we cut down some matches, we probably could have fit all of this into one night. And I think that would have made it a lot more enjoyable. Because think about it, I think each night was 4 hours each. You easily could have cut, so 8 hours total. You easily could have cut out 2 hours from WrestleMania. So boom, that's a 1 6-hour show. That sounds perfect. That sounds super exciting. So I really don't think we needed to stretch it out. But that's a thought. Who knows? What do you think? Have a good day and follow for more.